Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be talking about the upcoming performance of Little Shop of Horrors here at Troy University. And my guests today, Taylor Morgan and Shelby Steverson. The leads in the performance, Audrey and Seymour. And also joining us over there in the corner there is Audrey 2, the other big star of Little Shop of Horrors. If you're not familiar with it, we'll discuss it here in a second. But first and foremost, Little Shop of Horrors is a something that most people are familiar with because of the movie. And obviously the musical is a little bit different, but tell us a little about what is Little Shop of Horrors all about?
Well, it's about a guy named Seymour.
And a girl named Audrey.
Okay.
And they live a normal life in Skid Row, a crappy little place in New York City, I think. It's supposed to be in New York City.
Yeah.
And one day he finds a plant named Audrey 2, and it gets really big and he gets really famous. And without going into too much spoiler, that's the basis of the story.
A lot of crazy things start to happen, and a lot of Seymour's whole life changes, and it changes everybody's lives around Seymour.
And I guess we could just say that there are some deaths involved. Hence the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah,
So it's not all a good time for everyone involved. But it is a fun musical. Surprisingly, for something that's called Little Shop of Horrors, even people who know the movie know this is a fun, upbeat musical.
Oh yes, it's a comedy. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, but not everybody gets the ending that they might have imagined.
And so we don't want to give anything away, but there is, anybody who's seen the movie, there is a difference in the ending of the movie than the musical, and that's something that a lot of people, if they don't go into it, they'll be like, well, I've seen the movie, what's the point in seeing it? But this is something that there's a big difference, right?
It's very different.
And that's not the only thing. There's a lot of differences between the two of them, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of differences, and there's just the huge difference between watching something in a movie and being able to come and see a show like ours, where it is set up that the audience is actually on stage. And so there's literally actors running in between the rows, and you're in the middle of all the action, and so you don't miss a thing. And it's just that energy of a live show that's a lot different than the movie.
And now let's talk about our third performer here, Audrey 2. It's essentially a puppet, right? So what we're looking for, well, I mean, we see it here. It's got the mechanism in there, so you can play all you want to. I know it's a puppet, okay. But how is it having to work with, I guess, an inanimate object as a co-star in something like this?
Well, when there's someone operating that inanimate object, that's the other actor. You're really, it's an extension of that actor. And sometimes you get lost in it, and you're not, and you're dealing with that puppet like it is an actor, and you forget that it's a.
Yeah, I've forgotten multiple times when interacting with Audrey 2 that it's not its own character, because the actor who plays Audrey 2, Mohammed Guy, is actually so amazing at puppeteering that he just brings such a life to Audrey 2 that you sometimes forget that, oh wait, this isn't really happening.
It's not an actual living plant there.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
We've got a small version of Audrey 2 here, but throughout the show there are different sizes, and at the end, well, we couldn't even bring the final Audrey 2 here. Tell us about how the different stages of Audrey 2. So.
Well, for our show, and I don't know, this may be, I don't want to give too much away, but for our show, he gets.
He starts out about the size of a fist.
He fits in a coffee can at the beginning. This is the second size he gets to, and then he gets 2 sizes more. Eventually, he becomes over 6 foot tall.
Let's just say the final Audrey 2, we couldn't fit in a vehicle.
And beyond that.
Beyond that. So you couldn't get it over here to this, because but it's going to be a sight to see.
Yes.
Definitely.
And this, you're doing a little something different with traditional productions around here. You're actually doing a 2-week run of this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of demand for people to see shows. And so how's it to have to do this for more than your traditional one weekend?
It's exciting. It's really exciting because it gives us more time to really explore and let these characters grow, because it's one thing to rehearse And then it's completely different when you have an audience there giving you energy back. And so your character continues to grow throughout every night that you do it.
And so now, before we go, let's talk about when folks can see this.
Yeah, we open actually a week from today, which is October 8th. And it's going to be October 8th, 9th, 10th. And then no game, of course, on the 11th, or no show on homecoming.
Okay.
And then on the 12th, we will have a 2:30 matinee. And then it starts up again the next week, which is the 15th, 16th, 17th, and then the 19th.
All right. Well, here's hoping that folks come out to enjoy this wonderful stage adaptation of what most people have seen of the movie out there. And normally I say good luck, but I can't say that right. So break a leg, and thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.